Now, today a culture breaking news, the highlights of this video. One is basically VC Pop or Vivian, the creator of helluva and Hell's Hotel, want to do a crossover of both shows. But the only problem is she can't, but she hopeful. But I can explain that later on this video. The second highlight of this cartoon breaking news, basically Miku hitting hard in Twitter/X, all because a simple drawing of Himiko version of a Brazilian that was inspired by a TikTok. It went viral. I explain that later on in the near video. And the third highlight is one of the community members in the cartoon community got being mean to death because of a hot take he did in the video. I explain that later on this video. Now, this is the first time on my channel. My name is Rachel. I like to talk about animation, not just animation, do reviews, first impressions, cartoon theories, and sometimes, if I have some spare time, cartoon breaking news. Of course, you'll like how it's going. You'll like to help my channel, put like, comment, and subscribe. That's the only thing you need to do. If not, that's fine too. If you do, thank you. Because of you, I am getting close to my main goal of 2,000 subscribers. If I'm getting close every single day, thanks to all the people who like, comment, and share. Now, let's get started on the first cartoon breaking news of the day. Now, the first cartoon news is basically you may heard of a few days ago. Someone in the community made a specific video called How Modern Cartoon Reports Are Unfortunately Terrible by A.S.K. And if you never heard who is A.S.K, he just sort of does Turtles and basically Ben 10 and basically some forgotten cartoons and a little bit modern, but he just does completely random videos, but specifically in animation. But he was sort of infamously got roasted in the community because he made that specific video called Modern Cartoon Reapers Are Unfortunately Trashy that sounds something from 2016. And it feels something from 2016 because during that time period, everyone was sort of trashing modern cartoons and it feels that just sort of not making anything creative. That'd be fine, but the more he keep talking, the more you realize this guy not really watched none of the new shows, specifically Hazel from New Wish. They just keep saying, oh, Hazel's just a black version of Timmy, even that is not a black version of Timmy. It's Hazel. She's his own character, her own problems. Even that he says New Wish is a reboot, it's not a reboot. Even that he goes on and more other things, like how he says how Innenberg, the creator of SpongeBob, doesn't want any sequels of SpongeBob, even that sort of debunked inside the community, and many little things like that. It just sort of completely outrageous. Like you're just wondering, did you actually try to watch any of this thing or research any of these? Because the people are just pointing out all the bad takes this guy had this specific video. It just sort of kind of strange, but even that he just sort of still stands by his opinion, even that it's just sort of completely wrong, and that's just sort of strange. Like the whole community just point out, did you actually did your homework? And that's the thing, it's just sort of mind-boggling, but all of that, it just something just sort of was kind of trendy in the cartoon community, because it's just sort of completely nonsense, especially just watch the first 15 seconds. Watch the first 50 seconds, you see what's wrong with it at the very beginning, like how he compare New Wish is just a reboot to the original, but not understanding what the original actually does. Like, it breaks it down, but it seems he never cared to watch or even try the first couple episodes to understand what New Wish is. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. It just goes weirder under 7 minutes. But other than that, that's just sort of what happened in the first couple of days. Now let's talk about the next cartoon breaking news. Now, our next news of the day is from Ashley X/Twitter from Toon Hive, posting a new image of Marilyn and Katwanar, the second movie, be released on 2027, and they actually give us a link with a different channel where to get all the information. And this is sort of an account in X/Twitter called Bessie Marinette Tuber BR that just shows all the information what's going on Miss Ladybug. But it's just the poster, not really much. They also give us some dates or some things from specific things from the franchise, like 2006 will be released this year, and other different kind of seasons next to it or movies connected to Marinette franchise. But it's not really specific or anything like that, so I'm not gonna cover that much. But are you hyped for this sort of franchise? Are you interested seeing Miss Ladybug Catwoman Up 2? Even that the first one was kind of a musical, the first one was okay. I did enjoy it. Even that I was sort of semi a fan of that franchise, just till I got tired of it because it's just so much filler. But besides that, how you felt about it? You ready for season? Not season two, the sequel film, and also season 6 coming out in it this year. Tell me down below. Let me know. Now let's talk about the next cartoon news. Now, our next news is from Regular Capital. If you don't know what Regular Capital is, it's basically sort of a news website, specifically on Twitter, but it's more about Warner Brothers, anything they have, specifically cartoons, but other things, but you get it. But they're posting something very interesting. It's the fact they're posting on their Cartoon Network Japan website, specifically is shutting down on September the 10th this year. It will be basically undebunked and possibly if you click on the website it directs you to this sort of letter saying we will direct you from Warner Brothers Discovery with a completely different channel for right now this channel is debunked. Thank you for your dedication watching our basically program. And that's basically what it says the pace in Japan. But other than that, a lot of fans are sort of saying this is kind of sad. This is sort of death of Cartoon Network. Why? And they're a little disappointed why they keep shutting down every little bit of Cartoon Network information because this is the second shutdown of Cartoon Network media site now works because they're starting here in America, now they're starting in Japan. I'm not sure it's starting in Canada or Mexico yet. I think they probably did. But all of that, it's just sort of sad. Like, there's not much to say. Just sort of surprising and disappointing. But we still have at least the logo for right now. I mean, I don't know. That's the only thing I can think is positive. But I don't know you. How you felt about this? Are you disappointed? You kind of sad? Everything just shutting down? Tell me down below. Let me know. Now let's talk about the next cartoon breaking news. Now, our next news article is from Toon Hype posting Warner Brothers and Animation reporting having plans for Looney Tunes' new beginning rollout of IPs in 2028. But the only problem is they link the quotes in the article, but the link we go into is basically blocked because you need to pay to actually read the article. And that is just sort of disappointing. But even that said, that simple quote asks a lot of questions. What do you mean roll out in 2028? In effect, a lot of the comments down below point out what happened to Bye Bye Bunny, the basically dedicated movie by specifically by Bugs Bunny. What happened to that? That was actually shelved. What happened to career versus acting? That was basically shelved. What happened to The World Blew Up by Porky Pig and Daffy Duck? That was released in Russia only. We don't know why only Russia have that movie and that we are still waiting to see that film. And you can see why people are sort of pissed off of all decisions they're having from Warner Brothers because every decision is just sort of dumbfounding, sort of dumb. Even that we understand they have very little money to spend to give out more trailers, more movies, to get more promotion. That's completely understandable, but the only problem is every single decision is just sort of kind of dumb because you put in more money to IP that you know, okay, you don't need that much money because we know that this will be successful, like Joker 2. But yet, they spend triple the money on that film, you being less the money, even you don't know will be another hit. We know if people want to see it, but we don't know it will be equally as successful, even if you pour too much money into it. Like, it's just sort of dumb fun. It'd be safer just give it only 100 million or another 80 million. They're fine with that. But some reason, no, they chose not to. And that's sort of the disappointing part, the frustrating part, because we keep getting benched in the side because animation is too expensive, and yet you throw your money left and right. And that's just the frustrating thing of watching about this. Like, why you keep doing the same mistake over and over again, even that supposedly you don't have the money. And that's just sort of the frustration by the fans and everybody who wants this to be coming out, wants to see all the IP, their favorite Looney Tunes to come out, and we getting punished for no apparent reasons. I don't know you, it's just something just kind of pisses me off. I don't know you, how you felt about this. Do you believe they're coming out with new Looney Tunes projects, or they re-releasing the old project but holding up in 2028? Tell me what you believe. Now let's talk about the next cartoon breaking news. Now, this segment have be a little bit more fun, specifically what happened in a cartoon community or the drawing community specifically, because there's a channel from X/Twitter called Doodly did a sort of drawing of Himiko. If you don't know who Himiko is, it's basically a Japanese kind of CGI model, the first AI or first YouTuber or VTuber of basically the beginning, that she was super popular being simple singing and being idol, but it's just sort of a stereotype Japanese nice little girl who does singing and an idol face. But over the years she got so popular, making new songs, new team ups, and creating her own genre, till someone make a sort of a TikTok video about making Himiko like Brazilian, and this guy called Doodle saw that TikTok and decided to take his own take. He makes sort of a basically a stereotype of Brazilian girl drinking and having a great day on the beach. And this simple image blew up in Twitter, and everybody decided, you know what, that's fun. I want to do my own version on Mexican version of her or Italian version of her. And before you know it, there are a ton of versions of Himiko being representing of their own country. Even that it became its own universe. Everybody Himiko knew who each other. They talk and chat. This have a lot of drawings, a lot of imagination. How the best Himikos of different world combined becoming their own universe. It's something so fun and out there and creative, because there's some so mind-blowing creative you can see that just see all the talent of different universe. Some people decide to just cosplay of Himiko. Some people just draw their own country version of Himiko. Some people just decided to draw her like a monster or a diner. It just goes on and on. The creativity is just sort of mind-blowing. And just sort of that just sort of happens. If you're curious why I keep finding Himiko versions of Italian, Mexican, Canadian, or American Himiko, it's because of that specific drawing. It just sort of blew up because that creator saw a TikTok and just do a drawing and just sort of blow up. It's sort of fascinating how simple things come out of just creative moments and just blow up. It's just something fun and fascinating. If you are sort of curious why this was sort of blowing up all around the TikTok or Twitter accounts or any website you're actually on. But all that, let's talk about the next cartoon breaking news. Now, I did talk about this a while ago, a couple months ago, I guess, and I did briefly talk about this in the community tab, is that in Kickstarter, there's a pilot called Litterbox. And Litterbox, how to describe it, is sort of kind of like Bluey meets The Simpsons. And that's what the best way to describe it. But even that, this was sort of meant to be an anime series at the very beginning. But the creator decided the last minute to switch it up to making a comic because he's trying to figure out how the characters really work. Lucky for her, that was a very smart decision because it allowed her to have a very strong community who invested of these characters. Because when she actually started opening this Kickstarter for the pilot, she automatically got the exact amount she needed because she was only asking for $60,000 for the first pilot. And I'm guessing the first pilot will be between 6 to 8 minutes long. But she wasn't expecting to be that goal really fast. Because of this, she sort of readjusted the goals to understand whoever actually wants to put money in this sort of goal for this short. Because the first goal is basically giving a lot of the basic credit of people who put money on this project. The other goal is like 90% K. If they pass that specific goal, they will do is select the best 10 comic book strips in their own fandom and actually voiced by the original voice actors who did the pilot. And that passed that goal, 100K, they actually re-released all the songs of the original pilot. And that basically all the goal settings. Even that, I'm sort of surprised they did a wonderful thing. They actually passed the goal because it's sort of hard to pass any pilot, even if it's so successful. You just don't know who actually passed the goal nowadays. But other than that, if you do pay under like say $25, you get a chance 3-day chance to see the pirate than anyone else. If you pay $50, you get stickers about all the characters, and you pay a little bit more, you do have the golden coin, Chi cane, and also the song. You also, if you pay 150, you get sort of a miniature edition collectible Litterbox characters popping out on the television, and that's basically it. Also, you have the gold version if you choose, and a doodle from the creator of one of the original characters. Even that you pay a little bit more, you will have at least basically a meme of one of the characters in the show given to you. And I think that's it. You also have little things more, but that's basically what they actually tended to give you. And that's it basically. But I'm sort of surprised they did pass their goal. Right now there are 860,531. They just need 4,000 more to get the voice actors to redub some of their comic book strips, and 15,000 to get specifically all the soundtrack of the original pilot. But we still have 26 days to go do this recording because I'm recording this on Friday the 30th. So yeah, this easily passed the goal. Who knows? Maybe they have double after the end of this sort of Kickstarter countdown. If they do, maybe they do a second episode. We just don't know. Because let's face it, doing animation is hard if you don't know how the fans react to the cartoon. Because you don't know they recaptured the magic of the show, or they just picked the wrong voice actor. There's a lot of possibilities here. There's a lot of mishaps or chances to make it better or make it worse. But all of that are your hype. Do you know what Litterbox comic really was till now? Tell me down below. Let me know. Honestly, I got nothing really else to say. Now let's talk about the next cartoon breaking news. Now our next segment is from Discussing Films, posting of the Twitter Zero animation Rotten Tomatoes, because in Rotten Tomatoes you can't really trust it. It's just a very good conversational piece, but other than that, you can't really trust Rotten Tomatoes. The only time you can't trust it is the one both sides agree actually is good. Even that it shows the critic score on 100 and the audience score on an 85. And that is sort of true because I am more leaning to the kind of fans sort of making this a 85, because I did say in my own review, yes, I did a review of that it was really good except for the first 2 episodes. It just sort of drags on purpose because they have to set up everything. It sort of makes sense. They have to re-show you the origins to get what's going on. But all of that, that's probably the only major complaint, because it is very good. I'm not with the critics. Like, I am a critic, but I'm not paid critic nowhere, to get the idea. But they give it a 100%. Yeah, I feel no, 85. I'm from the audience score. 85 feels justified. I feel 85 is just the right one, because it is amazing. I did love it, but at the same time, it wasn't perfect. It has some flaws, but once more, I prefer to have little flaws than actually be terrible. Even that, all the people who comment down below also agree. Yeah, we did like the show. There's some say the animation was actually amazing. They actually give memes of Terminator 2. John Connor says, easy money. I mean, it's sort of obvious it was a smart idea to do this. And a lot of people just keep appraising it. Like, now you have to chance it. They actually gotta watch it right now. Someone said this slaps really hard. Others said, damn, this was really hype. I really enjoyed it. I was not disappointed. This was great. People even asking, so where's the sequel coming out? Because I think this is actually could be just one season kind of deal. It's just sort of a mini series. But I did state something in my review that to me it sounds a better idea just to make a mini series or a whole series about each season focus on a specific different character in the Terminator universe. Like focus on a different faction, focus on different debates of what is the best way to approach this. You can have a lot of different fun of the Terminator franchise. The only problem is they just keep sunking, they keep making L's after L's of the sequels because the last two films, let's face it, it wasn't good. It was sort of bad. But other than that, this is the W the fans really wanted because it was really good. They give the right trust to the right people and deliver. Yeah, I think it makes this so interesting and fun because this was sort of set in Japan, not in America. You can see all the problems they have if you have a Terminator in Japan because different laws, different rules to apply different locations. Like one of the big examples, one of the fans point out, is the fact guns are very hard to grab in Japan. The only one who has it is the cops. Even that, the weapon they have is not really that strong. They're just a six shooters, and that's it. They're just a simple to take control in the moment. So when you see the anime, that wasn't good enough. Even that the Terminator cliche took down a police headquarters in one of the characters that were being saved. The Terminator just wiped them all off because none of them really have very strong weapons, just pea shooters, nothing like a shotgun or automatic or anything like that. You just give it a fair fight, and that's what makes Terminator Zero so interesting. They use the sort of things what's going on in their own politics, the rules, the religions they have to take down this thing. It's just sort of fascinating to see a completely different country, different completely scenario of a Terminator. What's more, I highly recommend it or watch my review if you want to see more of my opinion, but it's just sort of great and amazing. Now everybody keep asking where season 2 is coming out, or if they're going to decide to make a season 2. If you want a season 2, tell me down below what's your opinion. Now let's talk about the next cartoon breaking news. Now, our next article or news statement is from Twitter slash from Truffles. And if you don't know who Truffle is sort of a news scooper who actually knows a lot of people in animation and also work in animation. And one his post it grabbed my attention saying a fan made Powerpuff Girls based on a very popular comic called Deja Vu is a development in Teen Weeb animation on their own Twitter. And this looks very fun, living, loving, but it's sort of a fan-fade film specifically for that comic. Now, if you want to know what is this comic of the Powerpuff Girls, this is from the early 2000s, the first run of the Powerpuff Girls, and that specific comic called Deja Vu basically focus on the girls sort of accidentally cleaning a window, but Bulbasaur cleaned way too much. It became sort of a teleporter transforming in a different universe and meet their doppelgangers that truly evil and messed up and took their place in the original Townsville, and they basically took their place on their own vice versa universe. But they find out something's wrong with her, especially find out Mocho Jojo doesn't really look the same. He looks very different, and Mocho Jojo trying to attack them, but during this fight they accidentally find out, oh, this is an alternate universe because the real this is their version of the Powerpuff Girls, the Punk Girls, got their own universe, and now they figured out, okay, how we get back to their own universe and stop them, and that's basically the whole comic pitch. And this comic is very beloved because it's probably the best, most interesting take of a evil version of a Powerpuff Girls because it really is. In fact, if you want to know more about this comic, at least a better done a job than me, I recommend watch a video from Disc View that he did a dedicated video breaking down. It's on YouTube. It's pretty good. It really brings out the whole comic book. But besides that specific comic book, this channel called Teen Pop, what it's called? Give me a second. I lost the video here. Teen Weed Animation. They are actually making a kind of a animated project about that specific comic book. This is a fan made film of that comic, and yeah, be excited. But for right now, they don't have a date. They just said they're working on it. They are a very confident group. They don't what they doing. In fact, some of the animation they do it was sort of inspired by the Powerpuff Girl art style. It's a little different, but it's the same cinema art style. But besides that, this looks fun, especially if you love that comic, because they do sort of explore the evil doppelganger sort of trope. It's a trope been done 100 times, but in this comic, they never fully explored. That left a lot of questions on the table, especially you find out that evil doppelgangers, the punk girls, are more stronger in their original girls. Like they cannot take them one on one. They have to use strategy to take them down. But it's just sort of interesting and fascinating how everything's so opposite. It's an easy trope, but how this comic exploded asks some more questions. Why they actually make these? Who made them? The reason why was accident on purpose? How the professor of this version are evil? Much more. A lot of questions. And I think this is the reason why people love this specific comic, because it did kind of explore something super interesting. Supposedly, it was a rumor this specific comic will be more explored in a future episode, but the only problem is the original run of the Popper Girls ended and never actually went back to it to explore this specific idea. And that made a lot of fans a little disappointed, because this is a very popular comic, specifically issue of the Popper Girls. But I think the fans decided, you know what, we gotta do it ourselves, and looks like they are gonna do it. But we don't know if it'll be any good, or they can explore more about the world, or they just gonna copy and paste the whole idea in the animation. We just don't know. We're gonna see what happens next. But this is probably the most hyped thing in the fandom of the Popper Girls. If you know about this comic, you want to see this more, you usually have a chance to actually see it. Now, I got nothing else to say, just let's talk about the next cartoon breaking news of the day. Now, this news is from all the people who love Totally Spies. From the account of called Alex, updating any news of Totally Spies in France, posting if a fan famed character of Blaine actually returns on season 7. Asking how Clover and Blaine see themselves in the snow. But besides that, that's all we know. I've not seen the episode, but fans are a little bit kind of cheering to see Blaine once again. If you don't know who is Blaine, Blaine is a character that Clover fell in love on season 5. Now, to be honest with you, I forgot about this character exists. He only appears a few episodes. I think only on season 5 in that set. He appears like 3 or 4 times. And the reason why, he was sort of a kind of a secret agent or double agent to take down Clover and her team, because he was sort of convinced by a different organization they're doing harm in on Los Angeles. So he was sort of hired to investigate Clover and her teammates and how to take them down one by one. And this was he pretending to be sort of the love interest of Clover, because how much similar they actually are. Two, he sort of finally activated his sort of mission to take each girl down, but till realizing he was wrong, because revealing he was sort of used to take down the girls. And because of this, he was sort of asked forgiveness and went on his merry way. But not knowing he was sort of a contract agent. He only goes for specific jobs once in a while, till Jerry asked him if he want to join Whoop permanently, but the only problem is he would join the Australian version of Whoop Agents. So it'd probably be the last time he actually be seen after season 7, the renewed season of 2024. And that's sort of surprising, because honestly, I kind of forgot about this character. I sort of remembered. I had to look on Wikipedia fan page just to recall my memory about this character. I was like, oh yeah, Blake, I remember him. He did not leave a strong impression on me, but yet I guess the fans did like him, because he maybe a few characters did have reappearing in the series, only specifically on season 5. I don't remember he reappeared on season 6, but he is coming back on season 7. I don't know which episode, but it's sort of near the end. But all of that, I think it's probably a cameo. We don't know if he can stay or actually come back. But it's sort of fascinating if this new season 7 attempted to reestablish old characters and just make it a different kind of experience. I guess this is just fan service, or I could be wrong. In fact, do you remember Blake or you forgot about it like I have, or he leave your impression. Tell me down below. Let me know if you care or not. Now let's talk about the next cartoon news of the day. Now, something interesting they post on Twitter/X, specifically Cartoon Brew. It's sort of an interview from them from Vivian that the creator of Helluva Boss and Hasbin Tell, actually quoting, she actually wants to do a crossover with both franchises in the near future. It's not impossible, but you have to be sort of patient. But at the same time, she adds is completely hopeful she actually can do it. The reason why she talked about, or you a little confused, because Hell the Boss and Hasbin Hotel are the same universe, done the same creator, but she does not own only one of them. She only owns Hell the Boss. She doesn't own Hasbin Hotel because Hasbin Hotel she was sold it to Amazon. It's all a point of Amazon how they felt if they want a crossover or not. Maybe in the near future they just don't care about the crossover, just keep doing the show. Even that, maybe she can convince them to do a one single episode. This is the reason why you don't see none of the original characters of Hello Boss reappearing of Hasbro Hotel. That specific reason is because she doesn't have the rights. If she does, she would have done it a long time ago and constantly having crossovers in back and forth. But they actually don't. Even that, ironically, both shows are fit in the same universe, even the same lore, but they can never meet. This is the reason why you don't see none of the characters reappearing in the show. Even that is sort of obvious. It's super easy to do, but at the same time you can't because once more, she doesn't have the right to do it anymore. This is what happens if you sold your ideas to the company. It's all their decision and decide to what to do with it. If they decide to cut off the contract of Vivian and her team and just give it to someone else and reboot the whole series. They easily can do that if Amazon chooses. So it's sort of kind of sad and kind of interesting same thing if you want to do something like this. You just need to have hope and never stop trying. And that's it. I feel fascinating, but I feel a lot of people reactions to this, they are kind of also positive. They're hoping this could be possible in the near future. But at the same time, it depends, are you a fan of both franchises? Because some people don't like none of them. When you like one of them, feel they just lost their touch. But once more, it's all about opinion. But once more, do you want a crossover of both franchises? Tell me down below. Let me know. Now let's talk about the next cartoon breaking news. Now another one from Tomb Hive on Twitter/X, posting a new trailer of Memoir of a Snail by Elliot. Now, this will be released on theaters in the US October 25. Some of you are sort of confused or at least not catch up on my other breaking news videos that Memoir of a Snail is sort of a claymation European sort of movie. But what is it? It's sort of a person remembering all the good thoughts, all the good things happened in the past because she was actually kind of sad and depressed. She was young because her brother kind of left her. In other words, I won't ruin what's going on, but you get the idea. She could not connect to anyone till she met someone else, this other person who kind of helped her to be kind of better, stop being depressed, in other words. But it was done in claymation and sort of snail form, or semi-human, semi-snail. But if I remember correctly, this was sort of based on a book. I could be wrong, I just don't remember, but yeah, I think I remember it was based on a book. The reason why I'm talking about this is I feel it's sort of interesting because usually this type of movies never get to here in the United States, specifically in theaters, because usually sometimes they have a limited release, and sort of surprised me they decide to show this in the US. I guess Hollywood is sort of desperate in allowing this because they need something to let people come into theaters. Because usually they're very giddy. They don't want other foreign films to come in. If they do, they usually brainwash everybody just Hollywood's the best. Watch our films, not their films. And that's what's sort of giddy. They're trying to do everything they can not to promote this or block it. But I feel this could be now changing because how the theater owners are desperate in hoping this movie bring people to watch this film. Even this film is sort of I think it was sort of mature type of film. It's not rated R, but it's sort of around between PG-13 or PG. I don't know they set the rating yet or not. Each country has its own sort of rating system now. So yeah, it's all up to you how you felt about this. Are you curious or you read the original critics? Because the original kind of critic score of this, it was between 7 out of 10 or 8 out of 10. People did like it. It does have very positive take on this. They have some issues, but let's face it, each film has its own issues. But this one has between 8 out of 10 and 7 out of 10. So this could be good enough for anyone. I don't know you. Do you care or not? Tell me down below. Let me know. I got nothing else to say now. I got nothing else to say. Just let's talk about the next cartoon breaking news. Now our next segment is from Toon Hub again, but they posted something very interesting. It's all about the new poster of Paulina Williams' biopic Piece by Piece, and will be released on theaters on October 11. If you don't know who Brian Pigwis really is, he's sort of a very known singer. He'd been in industry for many years, but he did something very unique that he wanted to make his biopic film to be Lego, just Lego form, because he's sort of kind of strange guy, but he likes making unique projects. He doesn't want to follow the same thing over and over again because it feels a little boring. He didn't want someone to play as him or someone who looked like him. He wants something artistically different. And this is what they come up with. Piece by Piece biopic by Williams. And you know what? It looks very interesting. Especially you've seen the trailers of this. This thing has really great vibes. There's something just so chill about it that a lot of people are a little bit excited. A lot of people call this woke for some apparent reason. I have no idea why they're calling it that. Even that the word woke doesn't mean anything now because everybody just erased the word what it actually means. But it's just a very unique thing. But to be fair, I do agree by the creator of this film. Because let's face it, everything is just the same nowadays. And you need to try something very different. This can easily be a flop, but at the same time, it could be a really good story. It just takes time to find it, to see it, to see what it's about. Because it's just a biopic. Because let's face it, if you've seen or don't know what a biopic is, you follow a specific artist, creator, or person who influenced the world in some specific way. But it's the same kind of trend. How they were poor or something happened to them and how they got raised in recognition of all the hard work and dedication they did on the specific project they actually do. And once more, you see that 100 times. Even sometimes you have two biopics of the same genre. Not even the same genre, it's just the same sort of cliche. It's sort of hard to do something unique and different because it's just sort of kind of laughable. And to me, it just sort of makes sense to make this biopic blocky. In other words, to try something unique. I'm surprised he didn't decide to be animation. I guess animation just was more too expensive. And piece by piece or using Lego is a little bit more cheaper because you get more free promotion of Lego, but also getting free promotion of the artist. It's sort of a win-win situation because it doesn't lose that much money if this flops. But once more, it's a very unique, refreshing take, especially how the poster feels something some fan Lego decided to do, but it's not. This is a professional poster by the film creator. It's just sort of weird, unique if you don't know what I'm watching, but you have to see the trailer to actually get what you actually watching because you can easily be confused if you don't know who is the artist or what is the whole idea if you're not seeing the trailer or behind scenes sort of interviews. It's just sort of a normal biopic done in Legos, but done a very good vibes. And the best way to describe it. I don't know you. Are you gonna watch this? Or are you one of the people complain, oh, this is a woke, this is just dumb, this is stupid. It's very fresh and unique. And in fact, it's one of the things that actually want me to go in theaters to actually watch it because it's just so unique. Of course, once again, this could be a flop, but it could also be a cult classic in the near future. We just don't know. Depends how the movie really is. Now, are you gonna watch it or not? Tell me down below, let me know. Now let's talk about the next cartoon breaking news. Now, our last news segment of the day is from Ashley Cartoon Empire, posting a new trailer from the new Wallace and Gromit of Vengeance Must File, be released on premiering Netflix on December. Now, this trailer I saw, yeah, I was sort of kind of disturbed, especially from Wallace and Gromit. We don't know what that is or what is this franchise. Wallace and Gromit is just sort of a claymation franchise based on the shorts that got really popular. He's just this sort of guy who is a inventor who everything he invents goes awry, and his dog kind of stopped and corrected the situation. That the dog is sort of the responsible and the human is just sort of unresponsible creating his inventions. And that's usually the idea of each single film of Wallace and Gromit. But this one does something so unique and bring an old, basically character. The very beginning of the I don't remember a second film or first film about this penguin who attempted to rob a bank, but got found out by Wallace and Gromit and put on the authorities to arrest him. And now it's sort of a vengeance to him taking down Wallace and Gromit, but using the machine of this new kind of elf, because the guy created a machine is sort of like an elf, but it's sort of elf or garden gnome. You put it in the garden outwards, but this thing is completely disturbing. I was grommet, like looking at like what the hell you make. It's just so creepy, unnatural, but it's sort of like kind of robot AI. You basically talk to it, but it's just super strange and out there. But yet the fans are high about this because it's been a long while to having a film of Wallace and Gromit, especially about this franchise, because this franchise always slaps, because at the very end they always focus on a good story, specifically of Wallace and Gromit, because they never really fail, especially this is a hit franchise and back in Europe. Of course, it's not as popular here in the United States. This is the reason why they put it on Netflix, but it's still a really good, fun, charming franchise. Yeah, I am hyped, especially how some of the fans are excited to see what else the new adventure of this franchise. Of course, are you excited to bring old enemies, new ideas, bring this old franchise back to not really theaters in actually Netflix, but they will be released in theaters at least limited 2 weeks and put it back in Netflix. This is how they work. But besides that, are you excited? Tell me down below. Let me know. I've got nothing else to say. Just thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.